was poking around and I was looking for different kind of Nixie clocks. So you can go on Amazon and look for Nixie clocks. You can go on eBay and look for Nixie clocks. But sometimes it's nice to go to a different platform. So I was bouncing around on Etsy. So there's a bunch of places out there, and a bunch of people that like to dabble in Nixie clocks and VFDs. So I was looking around, browsing around, looking around, and doing a lot of doom scrolling and stuff like that, because there's lots and lots of vendors out there that are playing with it. And some of the vendors, they dabble back and forth between Etsy and eBay and stuff like that. So I just happened to find a listing, and of course you already know what's in it. It's a single tube VFD clock. So it was only like 28 bucks or something like that. So I says, you know what? I don't have a single VFD clock like I do with the Nixies. So I got the IN18. That's the literal one back there. And then I got the Delbor Farney, the big honking single Nixie. And they've been running pretty good. And then I got little Yana over here. Or, yeah, Yana. Yana finally started behaving now, so I keep her running now. And then I got Maestro running. And then I got another little single IN14, I believe. Single Nixie running in my bedroom. So I got a couple of VFDs in kit form. I got one that's completely built that I don't believe I've shown on camera yet. So found this one. I says, I don't have that kind, so I want that kind. And here it is. So we got our little bugger in there, I guess. Comes with a USB cord, USB-A to mini. Ew. Got that kind. Even comes with wall wart. Side mount. Wow, that's impressive. So this is where's the specs on this thing? 5 volts, almost 2 amps. I don't know about that. Then we got the destructions. It says, thanks for purchasing the 1-digit VFD clock. To set the time is easy. There is a button next to the USB port. Suppose you want to set the time to 9:58. When you first plug in the clock, it should alternate between 0 and 1. This represents the hour's 10th place. In this instance, it would be 0. When 0 is displaying, hold down the button until the display blanks out, then release the button. The next display should be continually count from 0 to 9. You should press the button when a 9 appears and hold it until the digit blanks out again. Next proceed to the minutes, 10th place, and select the 5. And then the last, select 8. The clock doesn't start keeping time until you select the last minute unit. In this case, it would have been an 8, so you know it would be 0958. You would have to adjust it. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Sincerely, Dan from Maxwell Gadgets. So that's nice. So here's our little Nixie. VFD. So it's a single bugger, and it's on a little white PCB. It even has this logo on the back side of it. So it's just one button and one port. And it was born on 7/17 of 2021. So it looks like there's some other screen printing on it. Bottom side too. Let's take it apart. We'll take it apart, see what's in it, see what it says on there. So he's got two different, he's got a bottom plate that says 7/17 of 21, and then he's got his, probably the build date, 8/10 of 2021. So there's all the components on the bottom side. So all of your components to run a VFD, along with the controller chip to tell the time. So the only thing that I don't see is the backup system on here, so it probably doesn't keep time when you unplug it. So it's kind of a little annoyance. So every time the power goes out or every time it gets shut off, you have to reset the time. It's kind of annoying. But it's still a VFD, so it's still cool. The only way you'd be able to avoid that is if you have a put on a UPS system. So we'll plug this in and then we'll set the time. So here's the plug, upside down doodle. It's got a blue LED. So we are at 8:09 in the morning, or it would be 8:10 in the morning. So we wanted to hit the 0. Now we're going to wait for the 8 to come up. And now we will wait for another 0. Well, actually, we'll wait for a 10. So it'll be a 1. Clear. And it says 8:10. So I'd imagine that this is just your basic 12-hour clock with a blue LED. So that's pretty cool. So I'll add him to my collection of Nixies and have a VFD hanging up there. I'll probably have to take one of my clocks out. I'll probably take the one of my other DIY ones, the one with the LED display in the middle and it's got the little rotating of LEDs around it. That one runs fast. So I set the time back in when the time changed. So it was back, what, November? So it's currently 8 minutes fast. So it's ridiculously fast. So I'll probably unplug that one so I can have the USB port so I can put this little guy in. And it's got the little blue LED on there. I might customize that. I might make it my own. I might put maybe not a RGB, maybe I'll put a strobe LED in there. Have it flashing like it's flickering on fire. That'd be pretty cool. So here's the little Maxwell gadgets. He's got a couple other clocks on there too if you're interested in VFDs. So this one was found on Etsy. So he's got a bunch of other stuff on there. So you can visit Etsy and probably do a search for Maxwell gadgets and pick up your own single one banger or 6-tube or 4-tube VFD clocks. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.